All right, let's dive right in. Today, we are taking a look at the absolute beautiful chaos of life in a typical Indian middle-class family. We're talking daily drama, logic that makes no sense, and just pure comedy. And our guide for all this is a really funny animated monologue that just nails this whole experience.
So picture this. The moment you open your eyes, you're faced with a crisis. A full-on battle between two of your most basic human needs. Do you eat first? Do you, go to the bathroom first? You start thinking, man, I might need to hire a manager just to sort out my morning schedule. And this simple, kind of absurd dilemma, it really sets the tone for the rest of the day.
And that leads us perfectly into our first section, Morning Mayhem. This is that magical time of day where a simple errand can turn into a legendary story of confusion, all before you've even had your first cup of chai.
Okay, so your mom, who's a tailor, gives you what sounds like a really straightforward mission. Part 1, take this blouse over to Pooja Auntie. Part 2, on your way, give this roti, this flatbread, to a cow you see. Sounds simple, right? But when your brain is still in that morning fog, even the simplest tasks can go so wrong. And yep, here's the result. Pooja Auntie gets the roti and, she's actually pretty impressed with how crispy it is. Which of course leaves just one tiny question. What in the world happened to the blouse? Well, the milkman confirms it later. The cow got a brand new, perfectly fitted top. Mission accomplished, I guess? But hey, a little morning mix-up is absolutely nothing compared to the wild, baffling logic of the parents themselves. Which brings us to Section 2, the parental paradox. See, in this family, it feels like parental reactions are completely backward. A tiny, insignificant problem can trigger a full-blown level 10 panic. Meanwhile, a genuine, life-threatening emergency is met with, well, a teachable moment.
So for example, mom gets a small burn on her hand while she's cooking. Is she worried about her skin? Nope. Her first concern is the toothpaste she's using to treat it. The real tragedy here isn't the burn, it's that precious Colgate is being wasted. It's all about priorities, you see.
Now compare that to this. The son gets into a serious accident and is literally pinned under a scooter. Dad shows up. Is he worried? Freaking out? Not at all. He sees this as the perfect time for a driving lesson about clutch control. And he even offers to get him a helpful tattoo.
So, from the mysteries of parental logic, we move on to another cornerstone of family life. The required, and almost always awkward, visit from relatives.
Okay, listen up, because this is some next-level advice right here. When the relatives show up, and let's be honest, it's mostly for the free tea, and you're the one asked to make it, your mission is to fail, and fail spectacularly. Make it watery, make it bitter, just make it terrible. Why? Because if you make good tea even one time, you are the designated tea maker for life. One terrible cup, though, and you're free forever.
And just when you think you've made it through the small talk, the conversation takes a hard left turn, straight into your most private medical history. Oh yeah, your parents will gladly share deeply embarrassing childhood stories you were sure had been forgotten.
And then, of course, there's the parental pride, which sometimes involves a little creative description. Your cousin isn't just a salesman, oh no, he's a guide for children's careers. It's a glorious job title that kind of papers over the less than glorious reality of him guilt-tripping people into buying online courses. And now, we get to the main event, the true climax of any household drama, the epic daily battle of wills. And in this house, it's mom versus grandma. So the whole war kicks off because of one fundamental disagreement. Grandma is super devoted to doing seva, or selfless service, at her local ashram. Mom, on the other hand, feels like maybe a little bit of that selfless service could be done, at home with the chores. And this one difference of opinion, it's the fuel for daily arguments.
The weirdest part is that the currency of this war is patasa, a type of sugar candy that grandma brings home from the ashram every single day. The problem? Nobody in the family likes it. So what do? They've set up a secret smuggling ring to collect all the candy and sell it back to the ashram at the end of the month. You can't make this stuff up.
The fight almost always kicks off with this first shot fired by mom. It's a simple, logical point that is absolutely guaranteed to make things escalate immediately. And grandma's reply is just as predictable and just as fiery. She meets logic with pure, unfiltered authority, and just like that, the battle lines are drawn for the day.
This is when things get really serious. Both mom and grandma retreat to their corners and pull out the nuclear option, the hunger strike.
They refuse to cook, they refuse to eat. And who's stuck in the middle? The narrator and his poor, tired dad, caught in the crossfire, just hungry and helpless.
Okay, so finally, after all the arguments in the drama, let's look at some of the truly bizarre, unexplained things that just happen in this house. Welcome to the Great Household Mysteries. Seriously, this is a question as old as time. You go to wash your hands, you pick up the bar of soap, and there it is, a single mysterious hair. You ask mom, you ask dad, you ask everyone, and every single person swears it's not theirs. It's a phantom hair, a daily puzzle that will never, ever be solved.
And then you have these moments of just pure desperation. Your last clean pair of underwear somehow ends up in a bucket of water. What can you do? You have to resort to extreme measures. You iron it dry. And let me tell you, the feeling of putting on piping hot underwear is described as a kind of next-level fun that you can only experience in a true moment of crisis.
So, from morning mix-ups and epic hunger strikes to phantom hairs on the soap, it's pretty clear that the middle-class family is its own little universe of comedy and chaos. And all of this leaves us with one last thought. What's the funniest, most baffling, unsolved mystery that goes on in your own family?